and welcome to the Northern Kentucky University video on how to report your co-op or internship using Handshake. So the first thing you need to do is log into Handshake. To log into Handshake, you want to navigate to the NKU website. Then you can search for Handshake using the search bar, or you can select Quick Links and choose the Handshake icon. On the next page, this will redirect us to the Handshake page. We want to choose Northern Kentucky University login, which will allow us to log into the system using our NKU email and password. So I've already entered my information in the system. Now here is the Handshake homepage. So Handshake is a very great tool that allows you to search for positions, connect with employers, and create a profile where you can highlight your skills, experiences, and courses that you've taken. But again, this video is going to focus specifically on how you can report your co-op or internship for credit. So once you're logged into Handshake, you want to choose Career Center. Once you're on the Career Center page, you choose Experiences to report your co-op internship experience. So this page will show you a list of all the experiences that you've reported in Handshake before. If you've not reported any experiences yet, it's okay. This page will just be blank until you report one. You will then select Submit an Experience. So this will bring us to the information page where we'll begin providing information about our co-op or internship. The first question is very important. This question asks us the experience template, which is which course do we want to be enrolled in. You will see that you can either click in a box and scroll the long list of options, or you could begin typing the course that you're looking for. For example, if I were a sports business major student, I can type sports business and you can see here the two options that show up in my list. Let's look at another example together. I could search for communication studies if I were a communication student, and you can see that I have two options. Now, I'm an undergraduate student, and so I have the options to take Communication Studies Co-op, CEP 300, or Communication Studies Internship, CMSC 396. So these two courses are different. They have different prerequisites and different requirements. And so it's important that if you don't know for sure which class you want to take, that you speak with your academic advisor before completing this form. If you select the wrong option here, you have to start this form completely over, as the form is tailored to the specific course that you have planned to take. So for example, for this example, we're going to look at the Communication Studies Co-op CEP 300. We're then going to select the term for which we plan to complete our co-op or internship. So I'm going to choose Fall 2023. Next, I'm going to add information about the organization where I'll be working. I can type my employer's name here. So if, for example, I'm going to be working for the Central Volleyball, I can begin typing Central Volleyball, and then I can choose this option over here. If instead I'm going to choose an employer that's in a system, you will notice that it will pre-populate some additional information for me. So for example, if I were doing an internship with Northern Kentucky University, I can begin typing in and select Northern Kentucky University. You'll see that they pre-populate, say, the location and the industry for me. So please note that sometimes the system pre-populates may not match the location where you are actually working, as Handshake sometimes uses the national location or headquarters. And that's okay. You can leave it with the information that the Handshake has populated if it's done that for you. So then you'll add your employer's phone number, and then the email address of your employer. And then we'll move to the job section where we'll provide specific details about the job that we'll be doing for our co-op or internship. So first we're going to add our title. And for mine, I'm going to be a communication intern. I'm going to be working for career services which will be the department that I'm working in. And then I'm going to select the dates, my beginning and end date. I can use these arrows to navigate to different months so that I can select each of my dates. I'm going to do first. Alright, it then asks me for my job type. In mine, it's cooperative education or co-op. Yours may also be an internship, and so you can select which one is right. If you're not sure, it's okay to select internship. Next, it asks for employment type, and my role is part-time, so I will select part-time. It then asks my salary, and I'm making $10 an hour, so I'll enter that information. The system would like to know your offer date, and if you don't know the exact date, it's okay to put an estimate. Because you're filling out the form, we assume that you've accepted the offer, but you can go ahead and click yes. If you wish for Handshake to go ahead and add the internship to your profile, you can leave this box checked. If you would prefer to add that manually later, you could uncheck this box. You can then add the date that you accepted the offer. Again, an estimate is fine. Next, the system asks you to include your supervisor's email address. I'm going to go ahead and type my supervisor's contact information here. So if your supervisor is in the system, you can see that it pre-populates their name for me, and I wouldn't need to provide that information anymore. But if they are not in the system, then you will include this name, title, and phone number. In the General tab, you'll see that this is where it begins to ask specific questions about the course that I requested to take in the experience type. Again, it's very important that you select the right experience type. The first question for me asks how many credit hours of CP 300 do I wish to earn for my credit? So for my experience. So I'm going to be working at least 100 hours. So I want to earn 2 credit hours for my co-op that I'll be completing. It also asks if I've taken CP 300 before. I have not, so I'm going to put no. If I had, then I would also put the total number of credits that I have earned for this internship. So on the next page, I'm going to fill in details about my job. I'm going to include my job title, and then I'm going to include a job description, which you'll want to fully type it out. You're going to include the company's websites, and then you're going to provide the department where you'll be working. Now, some of this information you may be thinking it's redundant, that you've already entered it. But by having all the information together in this general section, you provide a seamless review process for your supervisor and your faculty coordinator as they're reviewing it and approving your experience. So again, now I'm going to enter my start and end date. Notice the format that we want to enter this in. We want to do 2 digits of the month, 2 digits of the dates, and then 4 digits for the year. Similarly with the end date. Next is ask for our estimated numbers of hours that we'll be working and what our wage salary is. And again, my salary is hourly. So if you're receiving additional compensation, you can add that information over here. It then asks us how did we find about this co-op or internship. If I find out about this position through career fair, but then also talk to a familiar friend. I could select both career fair and other. So on Handshake, anytime that you select others or other, you need to provide additional information in the box that it provides for you. The next question asks if I've previously received course credit for this position before. Some students stay in the same role for multiple semesters, and maybe last semester I was in the same role, but I took CMS 396. And so, if that was the case, then here I would say yes. And then I would indicate that yes, I have already taken CMS 396. If you have not earned credit for this position before, just go ahead and put no in the box. You hit the next page to proceed to the next series of questions. The next list of questions asks us to provide information about our supervisor, including their title, their phone number, and then I'm going to enter these information over here. And then it asks if I'm related to the supervisor or if they were a current NKU student. And then I provide the specific address for where I'll be working. So where's the location for that employer? Similarly, with the city for that employer, and then the state. If it's not Kentucky, Ohio, or Indiana, feel free to select others and type in the state where you'll be located. Next, I'm going to add the zip code, and then I'm going to put the country for that employer. And again, you can use other if you're not working in the United States to tell us where it is that you'll be working for your position. Next, I'm going to choose the next page, which is going to ask me details about my learning objectives. These are education goals that I hope to accomplish in my position. I'm going to provide specific details about the goal and then how I plan to complete the objective and how the objective is going to be evaluated and by who. Since this is just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put test for each of these. But it is very important that you fill out each of these learning objectives. If you're not sure what to include in this section, we would encourage you to reach out to your academic advisor, your faculty coordinator, your supervisor, or career services. Any of us will be happy to help you think through what would be good learning objectives for you to use. Again, remember that the form that you're filling out is specific based on the class that you selected. And so the learning objectives section may look different for different courses, depending on which you select at the beginning of the form. The next and final page is the co-op agreement. In this section, you'll be given a series of statements to review and initials saying that you both have read them and that you adhere to them throughout the semester that you're completing your co-op. By initialing each of these, you're saying that you have read and agreed to them. You want to make sure that you complete this section and then submit your form by selecting Submit an Experience. After you've requested your experience, if you want to see where you are in the process, you can navigate back to the Career Center page. Once you do this, again, we want to select experiences. And this will bring up a list of all of the experiences that you've submitted, including the most recent one. You can see from my list where each of mine, two of mine are approved and 2 have completed. I can get more specific details by clicking on View Details. So if you've just submitted the experience, it will say over here, like in progress. So if I click View Details, I can scroll down to see the information that I've submitted, but also information about who will be approving my position and where it is in the process. So here I can see that my supervisor has approved it, my internship professor has approved it, and my internship coordinator has approved it. You can also look under the rationale for the students to see if they provided with any comments or activity that I want to review. For this particular position, for example, if I'm still being approved by the CSE internship coordinator, if I have questions about when this would happen or about how long the process would take, I could reach out to this person. Now, I always urge you to give the state person a couple of days to get the information entered before reaching out to them. But if it's been a couple of days, then feel free to email them or reach out via phone to find out where you are in the process. So as you're completing the request for your co-ops or internship in the system, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Career Services or your academic departments. We are here, ready, and happy to help you. Again, this has been the Northern Kentucky University Career Services video on how to report your co-op or internship using Handshake. Thank you for your listening and have a great day.